High performance doesn't feel like hype, it feels like calm. Don't flinch. Master your preparation and you'll master the performance. It's the calmness that comes from the strength of what you do and how you do it. So focused on what I was doing, and by having that focus without distraction, to blur that focus was crucial, and that gave me a sense of peace that I was able to stay on task. Now, how do you get to that level? Get back to the word trust of your team, of those around you, that they're going to be having that same focus without distraction, and that you can count on them not to be a distraction, just as they could count on me to be consistent. That mental state where you've knocked all the distractions out. Everything now becomes what we're about to do and what we're getting in to do. That focus, that zone, right? That zone of activity. You're prepared to go and do this, and you've trained to it. You've got your belief levels established that you can do it. So once you get to that level, once you get to that point, you're in a good place to feel some calmness in what you're about to do. Now, I say calm, but you're always ready for something that changes. Now, how you react to that is important. If you overreact to a distraction that is just maybe a part of doing what you're doing, something that comes into the field of view, if you overreact, sometimes that can cause more problems than just saying, okay, what is that? How do I handle that? What do I need to do with that? It doesn't necessarily mean, you got to go a different direction, jump to a new conclusion. Hold what you got. Don't flinch. So there's going to be distractions, but you just have to be able to understand what they are and how you're going to react to them. And that's another thing about briefing. You do this risk mitigation because you take into consideration all these things that are going to be risk. And as a leader, how you react to the distractions was something your crew, your team could count on, the fact that you wouldn't overreact, that you wouldn't flinch. Calm. How did you stay calm in that incredibly intense environment? You stayed calm because you had prepared. You knew what you were going to do when things changed, and you were confident in your own abilities.
Calm as a bull. Smoke off. Coming right. Wings are level. Smoke on. Boom. A little more. Adding power. Easing the pull. Easing power. Easing more power.
I think calm can be defined in a lot of different ways, but one thing to think about with calm, I often get the question when they see my videos and hear me in flight, how calm my voice is. Well, I maintain that calmness to have that effect on others, right? I want them to know that, okay, ease in the pull, rolling out the diamond roll. We go. And you maintain that calmness in it, and it lets those around you be calm. But it also gives you that reserve. If I'm coming down the bottom of a loop and I'm saying, a little pull to bottom out above the ground, hopefully above the ground, of course, a little pull, and they know the nose is going to come up and we're going to clear that. If I look down and I see it's going to be, I'm a little steeper than I want to be, I'm a little lower than I want to be, I'll go a little pull. So you can modify the calmness of your voice with a great effect of alerting others around you that, okay, it's gonna get a little tougher here. And that's beautiful in the way that works, right? You keep the calmness, and then you have a calm response to what's going to happen. Another thing that would happen out there is sometimes the air would get really bumpy, right? And if I were to, this is my control stick, this is how I make the airplane move up and down, left and right, all that stuff. If I were to feel that bump and go, boom, we got bumped up, oh, I got to push down, that would be bad news. So I would just let that bump push me up, and knowing that that air would change again and we would settle back down. I didn't move the control stick, so those around me didn't have to move. They just rose up with the bumpiness and then back down, up and down, up and down. So it's challenging, but you stay calm regardless of the things around you. You have to be able to handle things though, and hopefully you've talked about it ahead of time. If you haven't, the way you train and the way you react is also something that you develop as you refine the way you fly and the way you do things. So how do you get to calmness? Again, it's training, it's developing confidence. A lot of that has to do with the people around you, sharing how to do that and get there eventually. You can't just automatically become like that, or you just you may misjudge what needs to be done. A calmness is not necessarily weakness. Sometimes you think, well, that person's really laid back. It's not being laid back. It's the calmness that comes from the strength of what you do and how you do it, right? And the precision and the expertise that you field. You're fielding that expertise from your training, and that creates calmness in yourself. You mentioned earlier about the folks that come in and want to flash around and show offs or whatever. That's okay if you're by yourself and if you don't hurt anyone. I guess it's okay. But if you're in a team environment and you have prescribed outcomes, if there's expectations of what you're going to do, if you go out there and try to exceed those without any kind of pre-thought, all of a sudden you decide, well, I'm going to go faster than anybody's ever gone, or I'm going to go lower than anyone's ever gone, then you're looking at trouble ahead. An example of that is pilots, jet pilots especially, like to take off and stay as low as they can before they pitch up and do a high performance climb, right? We practice that in the blues with a building block approach, to where you take off to a certain level, and then you take off to another level, not quite as high, another level, not quite as high, so you're just racing along the closeness to the ground. You have to practice that. You have to learn to do that. When you, as an impulse, all of a sudden decide you're going to do the lowest transition from the landing gear being down to the landing gear being up, sometimes the best you're going to do is tie the record. And tying the record means you hit the ground. You have to approach flying, especially in high performance, whether it's flying or in the business world. The risk and dangers of what you do have different meaning depending on what you do. It could be losing a customer, because of a risk you took that wasn't measured. So you have to look at what you're going to do and how it might affect those around you or yourself, and be calm. Back to calmness. Be calm and confident, but not overconfident and not reckless. Just being so laid back that you let things happen that shouldn't happen, right? Calmness is having the confidence and the training and the preparation to know that pretty much whatever happens, you have an idea of what to do to handle that change, that distraction, that additional load that may be upon you from an outside source.